Okay, all right. Today is the 6th of July, 2021, Tuesday. All right. Now, today is our Super Tuesday. I will let you know how the arrangement will be because there's some things I need to handle today. So I got you guys on later through the announcement. Okay, now all eyes on DIDI Now. All right, now DIDI, do you know what's DIDI? Now DIDI is something like our Grab. Okay, in fact, DIDI came first. Then after that, it basically created Grab and all the Ubers and stuff like that. Okay, so DIDI is actually the version of Uber in China. All right, so it's a very popular this transportation app, and of course, recently it got itself IPO, so-called IPO, get itself listed. In fact, all right. So, but why we talk about DIDI today? Because it has a very big direct concern for the market, and I'll explain to you more in a short moment time. But before we go into that, as usual, disclaimer. Please understand this. Everything is about disclaimer. All right, please make sure that whatever I share, it should be used as a learning aid, and you must carefully consider your current financial status, condition before engaging into trading. All right. So if you accepted the above, you have identified me. All right. Thank you once again. All right. Good morning to you once again, to Edwin and Eric. Okay. Morning to you. Now, I can't find a better way to explain what I want to share with you today. So this is the closest I get, like the cartoon. Okay. So this is actually, I'm not sure it's purposely cut off, but I couldn't find the original. But nonetheless, it's just saying that amateur investors driving up stock prices and costing me billions of dollars. That's Wall Street. And of course, if you can find a way to protect our way of working, so someone, I think the boy says this, and Robinhood, again, this cartoon says that, okay, no problem, we'll stop the ability to trade. So you remember this during the Reddit crisis, whereby all the investors, the small retailers come in and whack the market and causes the prices to go higher. And of course, that drove some of the big boys down to big losses, okay? Now, the problem is this, of course, later on, Robinhood apparently seemed to be like purposely halt the system, and that causes a bit of mayhem to the retail investors. And it created a problem. It went to, they went to court, and end of the day, both sides gave their side of stories, but seemingly just ended there. So of course, my point is this: why am I talking about Robinhood? No, today's not Robinhood, but it's the ability. So when you control the power to basically stop certain thing, right? You have the power to manipulate. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you through this cartoon, because as long as you have the ability, right, you can do interesting stuff. So let me show you why I'm talking about this and how does it link with DIDI actually. All right. So, but before we go to that, we need to know our day. Every day, I would want you guys to be, we'll do this thing called how to be a successful TWB trader. And other than techniques wise, we need you to be, mentally prepared, mentally strong. So that's why every day I will find traders or investors who are good in their this field to tell you quote of the day so that it inspire you. So this is from Peter Boris. We want to perceive ourselves as winners, but successful traders are always focusing on their losses. And I think that this is very, very well highlighted. I think basically Arun last Saturday have already keep on emphasizing. Now, a lot of time we want to make money from the market. That's what our objective is. But this objective has always become the hindrance, or in fact, the obstacles, in fact, the problem for our being successful. So if we actually focus on losses and prevent the losses or reduce the losses or keep it small by with a successful or what they call a usable system, all right, it's reliable and can produce consistent results, should be able to help you on this. So successful traders think more of protecting what they already have. That means it's profits. And that is always more important than making more money. And that is a usual problem that most retail traders go into. After they make money from the market, it's very normal for the traders to say, hey, let's buy again, let's buy again, let's buy again. But of course, the problem is that we keep on buying again, right? You don't forget that the people who bought at a lower price are making money now. They will take profit on you. And that is always a problem. And that is the reason why usually you see traders failing, because they will usually do this. At the start of the buy moment, they don't buy because they saw the recent selling, they get freaked out. Then after that itself, when the price go higher, they say, okay, since I missed the low, I don't buy anymore. Then after that, they seem to be very confident with that the market will pull back, the market goes higher. until the real high level, then that is where they jump into buying. And unfortunately, as usual, the price will come down and they get hit. Don't you find it very familiar? If you find it familiar, right, please key the word yes. Let me see whether you find this familiar. All right, Gary, good morning to you, right? So I just posed a question. I just posed something there. I was wondering, do you all agree with what I just said? All right. So Eric say yes. Anthony, Michael say yes. All right. Even Philip, Janet also say yes. Thank you, guys. Now, this has been something that we've been seeing on a very rapid, very normal. Now, sometimes, of course, it can be like this. It's just like, okay, we revise this again. The market is down. They're supposed to buy because the CCRY has developed, but they say, no, let's wait for a while. Then after that, they may buy some in the second part of it, and then they make some money, they get out, they're very happy. Then after that, the price shoot up, right? And they say, oh shit, I could have buy more. I could have, hold more. So what happened again? They enter heavily without risk management and expect that the price can go higher. But unfortunately, maybe this time around, the market only give this part of profit and then the price come back down. And now because they didn't expect to lose, right? And the lot size they enter is pretty big. And because of that, what happened? It's very normal that you hang on to the losses, and even though the stop loss get triggered, they probably will say, you know what, maybe it'll rebound and so forth. So this is the usual thing that people make losses, and if we can control our losses instead, we probably will walk out pretty fine. All right, so got the idea now? Good, thank you so much. Now, of course, yesterday the US market is closed. It's kind of hard to get the reason for buying, but I still managed to find something for you guys. So let's watch this. Okay, thank you, Dan. Now, basically, the Eurozone PMIs, you can see that last year itself, right? Sorry, last year was terrible because of the pandemic. So the PMI from 50 went down all the way to about 12 to 13. But you can see very fast, within 3 months' time, the market rebounded very strongly. And it went consolidated for about the next 6 months. Okay, you can see the power of money. And 6 months of consolidation now, wow, the PMIs in Eurozone have shot up now to higher than pandemic time. So you're telling me that basically the pandemic is really doesn't have any problem? Are you telling me that basically everybody has went back to work after pandemic? Or you're telling me itself, right, the economy is better than pre-pandemic time? So all these numbers doesn't seem to really equate, but nonetheless itself, right, the MSCI All Country World Index closed at a record 724.66 last week, and is 0.1% higher on Monday. The Europe TOXX 600 index, okay, is up. So basically, you're talking about, wow, Eurozone business expanded activity at the fastest rate in 15 years in June. Wow. So that's the reason why you understand why DAX, FTSE, all are climbing up, because apparently this is happening. But the question mark is it really happening? So we'll leave it to you to decide. But this is very clear. The manufacturing PMI, the service PMI, and the composite PMI, all of them is running up. Of course, another thing to watch out for is this Cathie Wood. Now, Cathie Wood recently, the ARC Innovation counters is back to normal again. Apparently, people are buying into the market. So recently, she's been buying one particular counter. So I want to share with you what counter is this. Okay. Now, Cathie Wood bought shares of this recent IPO every day this week. Now, do note this is a pro account. So that's why you may not see it on CNBC. But because I am, so I can just show it to you, all right, using a pro account. So, oops. Okay, the counter that basically is she's buying is this counter called Kanzhu. Okay, this counter is called Kanzhu. Okay, so Kanzhu means basically, right, aim right in Chinese. Okay, let me explain to you how about this. Okay, so first of all, let me just do some alteration in terms of the hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, so Cathie Wood have been buying this new public Chinese technology on her radar. She already bought almost 1 million shares in for ARK next generation, okay, and almost every day she's buying. On the first day, first purchase of 21st of June, then she been buying, okay. So she felt that this counter is pretty good because it's kind of using AI and also using a lot of technology. She feels they're very, this is like a new generation counter, a new counter to watch out for. Now this counter, right, went public on June the 11th, okay. June 11, okay, and this counter has went up. Now the opening was about $37 after pricing $17 to $19. This counter is actually Tencent back operates an online recruitment platform which connects job seekers and enterprise users through a mobile app, okay, called Boss Zipin. All right. So their basically is to help people to get jobs. And apparently this counter, you can see right now, there's some issue here in terms of the owner. Okay, let me just revise. Okay, wait, there's something wrong with the PowerPoint. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, so this counter, when he got his pre-IPO was below $20. Then after that, IPO day, it went up, then to 40, came down to 37, then back to 38, then came down. And this is where Cathie would come in to buy, okay? So on 21st of June, Cathie would every other day been buying. So of course, when Cathie Wood is buying, you can see that the share also go up. So that's why Cathie Wood is always known to be like the queen of stock market. Because when she buys, right, a lot of her fans, her followers, probably her shareholders are buying. And of course, this happened recently. It came back down from 42 to 38, but now it's back up to about $39. So of course, guys, to share this with you, that means that if you think this counter Kanzhu is good, right? You can also consider, okay? So this one is to share with you what are the things that you look out for to buying. Now, in the second half of today's MAO, right, a little bit more stuff to share with you because it's about the federal ability over the years and the easy money policy that's going around, and of course, the S&P price to sales ratio in the market. Okay, I'll talk about this later in the second half of the MAO. Now, yesterday when Susan was in the office, I can tell you a little joke here. She was like coming at 2 o'clock. Normal 3 o'clock, she's already on standby mode to do her MAO, so-called afternoon Susan go live, right? But you can, when I saw her, she's like a bit dazed. I think that she's so used to having 3 to 5 o'clock every single day to meet up with you. Yesterday, she don't have the chance. She feel like, hey, something is just missing here and there, okay? And it's a joke, but I can see that Susan really enjoy her Susan go live every single day. So later on, she will be doing that from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Susan will go live once again, and you guys can enjoy to hear what Susan has to share. And of course, let her tell you what to look out for buying and selling. Okay, all right. So this is what will happen later on. Now, of course, let's go to the local and global news. Of course, I did promise you guys are not about COVID, but because there's a new add-on information, I cannot resist. So I must tell you is that, wow, okay, we may have a larger group of 5 diners expected. Okay, so we are looking forward. Apparently now, I heard from my friends, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? Most restaurants are fully booked already. Everybody is preparing to go out and dine. So all I can say is this, let's just pray and hope all goes well, because I am also going to do that, okay? So just keep yourself safe, make sure that you have your mask on, and of course, just practice social distancing regardless, all right? So pretty happy to hear that we're going to have this larger group, and hopefully we can go back to 8, because I really miss to have my dinner outside with my parents and my sisters, and that is something that I look forward every single weekend before the pandemic happened. And of course, this is something that you must remind yourself that don't do this, okay? This is Steve Henry once again digging into it, but you can see that, okay, when we go for eating session, it seems that we always do this, right? Don't you agree? Everybody will put on a handful while waiting for the dinner to be served. And very funny, despite even the dinner or lunch being served, people will still be on a handful. And this is something that is really crazy, So that's why we must remember this. We want to have our dinner, our lunches, or even breakfast with our friends and stuff. So do tell ourselves this time around, if you have a chance to do this again, do appreciate it. Stop your handphone texting and just enjoy, talk to one another. I think that's more important, right? Okay. So it's a good, very sarcastic here, but I really think that will happen again as usual. Okay. All right, but of course, Singapore is doing well, but the overseas, well, apparently England is going to stick to their plan of lifting restriction on Freedom Day. Wow, okay. And of course, US is kind of fall short of their COVID-19 vaccination. Well, 1 million vaccine dose due on Malaysia on July the 5th, which is like yesterday, right? So what is happening now in America is that, right, they have actually inoculated 172 million Americans. Okay, that's pretty good, right? 172 million Americans already have their single dose, and about 156 million have received both doses. So about 47% of the 172. But you must understand, the US population in 2020 is about 331 million. So in short itself, right, 50% of 331, okay, is about 160, all right, to 165, around there. So basically means that they technically missed a 70% target. Now, how come they miss it, right? Well, apparently, they were supposed to administrate about 800,000 doses every day. But as the time goes by, right, because of some people getting a bit jittery, not that they don't trust it, or people just basically refuse, now they're averaging about 300,000, okay, per day. So it's like almost 500,000 lesser than expected. So that is the reason why US couldn't hit their target. So the question is this, all right, with 172 million Americans already have this vaccination, right? We really hope that all goes well, because if not, this could be serious trouble, right? But nonetheless, I think that all is good. But of course, while we are having a good time and having what you call as, things are moving, we have something unhappy happening in America. Let's take a look what now. Okay, apparently, right, during the festive season, which is the Independence Day, oh my God, okay, major city nationwide, okay, suddenly just everybody just go berserk in a way. All right, there's a surge of violent crime. Apparently 150 people died, okay, on gun violence in 400 shootings. Oh my goodness, it's just a weekend. And everybody just happened to go out and party. But the thing is this, probably the anger or all the pent-up energy, they couldn't let go, bang. How they do that? Oh my goodness. 8 people were shot near a Texas car wash after an argument. So it's an argument, and after that, I'm not happy with you, you're not happy with me. They take out the gun and bang, 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 okay? And 8 people got shot. So it's really scary in America, and just one weekend, oh my goodness. Sometimes itself, right, this is really very scary. So that was what happened. Luckily, Singapore, we remain no guns. That's why we are safe, okay? Now, of course, the bigger thing in the market right now is this one, DIDI, right? Now, DIDI actually on the 30th of June, as I mentioned to you, it was 29th of June, actually, to be precise. It was up on the first day of trading. Everything was going fine and all was good. But the only thing that was interesting is that, right, let me explain to you why was it interesting, okay? Because, basically, right, I was also asking myself, hey, how come I didn't cover this particular story? Then I realized that because apparently, right, for this DIDI, right, okay, they basically from public to listing was only 20 days. And of course, the better part is that, right, normally you have celebration, you have the media conferences, and you have the listing bell, the ding, 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 ding. Apparently, right, DIDI basically skipped all this. They don't have any, it was very low profile listing. There was no external medias, there was no media conferences, and there was no listing bell. So basically, it was very subtle, and it just listed up. But of course, when it did that itself, right, they become a problem. Okay, become a problem. Okay, let me explain to you why. Now, DIDI it's basically that the underwriters are many of them. We have Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, and China Renaissance Capital, all right? Now, the thing is this company has set a record in terms of the funding, and it was 23 times, okay, 3 times, what do you call, subscribe. And there are many, many, many big names, okay, like SoftBank, Uber, Tencent, Alibaba. So the prospectus was good, the behind the shareholders were powerful, and everybody likes it, okay? So, wow, this should be a good ride. But apparently something happened, okay? Just over the weekend, DIDI app suspended in China over data protection. So which means that people cannot use the DIDI app in China. Oh my God, that is really terrible. This is going to be a big headache, right? So apparently the China cyberspace regulator says that they ordered smartphone app stores to stop offering DIDI Global app after finding that the ride-hailing giant has illegally collected user personal data. And obviously the data is taken to do what? So basically, right, this guy is listing in America and China say, no, you're using it. So there's some form of harvesting of the data for some overseas usage, right? Apparently. So because of that itself, right, what happened, okay? All right, this is the, immediately the stock price was affected, and the stock price was aiming for 100 billion in valuation, has now came down to 67.5 billion. And of course, this is going to have a big impact. All right, because a lot of people download this thing and they want to use it for rides. So let me explain to you more through a video. Let's watch.
Shares of DIDI trading lower right now after the China Cyberspace Administration said that it's going to be conducting a cybersecurity investigation on the company. It's asking DIDI to stop new user registration during the investigation. He says it will fully cooperate with the regulator during the review. You better, when China says to do it. DIDI shares, though, are now down by about 6.7%. And we've seen some weakness with Uber and Lyft this morning as well. Nowhere near what we're seeing in DIDI. DIDI down by 6.6% versus about 0.5% for Uber and about 0.8% for Lyft.
Can't do it now. Couldn't do it like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. That's not very nice.
Do it. Listen.
And they let it come out and let it
Go public first?
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably would have heard it more if it happened right before.
Why do we think Lyft is I don't know.
I don't know. We're just looking at weakness. I guess those shares are a little weaker. I don't think it's because of that, because they're not doing business there either. But yeah, we're talking about fractional declines versus down 6.9% for DIDI.
Shouldn't Uber be off more though because they own a stake in DIDI?
Good point. Good point. I don't know.
Okay, when I watch this thing, right, I kind of find out that these commenters, they really want to say something, but they cannot really say. And the lady was like, I don't know. And of course, it's right. Uber actually holds a stake in this DIDI, right? So logically, if the counter DIDI is down by 6%, Uber should be down by at least 1%, at least 2%, at least. But apparently, Uber was not really affected. So the question is this, right? Why do you want to have an IPO listing and then after that you come out something like this, right? It's really a pretty bad one. So of course, a bit of dig up for you, right? Apparently, this is what happened, okay? All right. DIDI says that there's no knowledge of Chinese regulator investigation before IPO. I kind of cannot really buy this, honestly. And it seems very clear that China is taking aim at more tech firms. It's very, very clear. And that's the reason why Hong Kong now is the Hang Seng market is down. Some of the Chinese shares are down at the moment. And apparently already there was suggestion to just tell DIDI to delay its IPO. So let's watch some news, okay? So apparently China Cyber Securities Watchdog suggested DIDI Global Incorporate delays its initial offering and urged it to review its network security. Weeks before the Chinese ride-hailing giant went public. Okay, this is actually reported by Wall Street Journal, so it's not anywhere, it's actually from the main street. So because of that itself, right? Okay, but the company says, like I say, he doesn't know, but you can see that over here, apparently people knows about it, but they still decided to go with the IPO because it's facing a lot of investors' pressure to have a big payout, which is very clear. Right, so many people are all involved in DIDI, and obviously they want payout. So it's just like telling, straight in the face, I want my money. I want my money from this investment. So I don't care, just do it. And of course, when they did it itself, right, just basically piss off some people, all right? Obviously, it pissed off some people. So that's why now some of the Wall Street guys are saying that, right, they think that it's not the time to go long now. They expect that other apps will also be affected. They say that now all this thing about the sector valuation of large internet platform must be going careful. And now with all this tightening over the China large tech firm, this may actually discourage further US listing. So it seems to be like that that's causing it. So what I did for you guys is to look for you all the counters all the companies that have shares of DIDI. You can see that, Tencent on the very day itself down by 3.5%. Then we have Meituan also down by 5.59%. Because Meituan also bought into DIDI. And of course, SoftBank is the one got hit very badly because they own more than 22% of this counter, and it was down by 5.39%. All this tells you that, right, there's a lot of good reason why things happen now, okay? So things don't happen for a reason. So as long as we follow the rules and the chart, if the market says sell, we just have to sell, even though other market can be positive, other market can be good, but if the current situation is a call for sell and the indicators call for sell, you just have to follow through, all right? So that's the reason why we have this problem right now in Hong Kong market. I'll come to that very shortly, okay? So we have our US economic calendar today. All right, today we have the ISM data, okay? This is about 63.5. So I kind of expect the number to be slightly higher. I'm gonna give my number for today, just for the sake of having fun here. I expect it to be 64.5 today. Hopefully I'm right. So it should be higher than expected. Okay, so we see how it goes later today. All right. So before we go into the US market, let's look at the China and Hong Kong market right now. Let's take a look. Okay, now for China market, the China A50 has continued to drop further. Is down nearer to my target. I remember I told you guys my target is 16,760 level. We are getting nearer to that. So likely the China A50 should be going down to that level. Now, if you look at it on the long haul, let me just show it to you. Okay, let me show you the long-term chart on China. Okay, we'll talk about this later on. Now, this is China entire movement since the pandemic time. Okay, so let me explain to you now. Today I'll cover a bit more on China because it's actually a pretty important thing to watch out for. Now, this is the low end when the pandemic really hits. Okay, now very incredible. All right, the China market back then, it was here when it's at like 14,000. Around there, 14,550. Okay, about there. And then it dropped down, it was 11,480 range. Okay, so we went down by about 20 to 30% during the pandemic time. We understand that. But very fast, very fast, within less than a couple of months, okay, yeah, recover back above the high before pandemic and went higher. Okay, so obviously there was a lot of pumping, a lot of market pushing up, a lot of funds and stuff. The government funds came in, so it went all the way up. So we look at the numbers right now. Okay, if we look at the numbers right now, from where it is, it went at a high of about 20,580. Okay, so you look at it, this is the phenomenal. All right, from 14,450 went up to 20,580. So it went up by how many percent? How many percent? Let's take a look. Right, 10% is about 144. So 10% is about 1,400. All right, so 1,400. So let me take a calculator out. Okay, so we're talking about this increment here. Okay, so let me just do the mathematics right now live. Okay, so it went up by almost, wow, 42%. Okay, it went up by 42%. Okay, up by 42%. Okay, from the market, from the high to the high before pandemic all the way to the high back then. But after that, you notice that something very drastic happened. Do you notice that this guy itself actually is a BNB? Do you notice that? This is a BNB. Notice that? Yeah, it's a BNB. So this BNB immediately reversed everything and after that, it began to fall. So from this point here, okay, it began to fall, right? So I take the Fibonacci of this point A to point B. Okay, point A to point B. And I do the Fibonacci. So if you look carefully now, this is a 61.8, this is a 50, this is 38.2, and this is 23.6. Now watch, when the price came down all the way, it crashes down below the 23.6, okay? Then after that, obviously it went lower, right? So logically, it will go down to the next level, which is the 38.2. And when it hit 38.2, it basically started to hang around here for quite a while, right? Quite a while. Then when it recovers, you notice that once it recovered, it got stuck really back at the 23.6. So that means that my Fibonacci that I'm drawing now is widely used by most of the boys. That's why the market is able to hit those technical points nicely. Okay. So now with this understanding, we get very sure now we know that where the boys are looking at. So let's just look deeper and closer right now. So you look at it right now, right? Okay. From here, you can see that this is the 38.2 that I mentioned. So what happened is that when the market came down, it basically went down. Then, okay, let me just make the chart a bit smaller, a little bit by one more size to see this better. Okay, let's do that again. So when the price came down after this BNB, okay, it came all the way down. And then you notice that it stops here at the 38.2 and began sideways. Now, what actually at the bottom of the screen right here, you can see a very interesting support level at about 16,760. Every time when the China A50 comes down to that level, right, apparently it will always get support there. And that's why I'm half expecting that there should be some support at this price again because we are nearing to it now, this 16,760 mark. But on the flip side, you can see that all along it's been trying to stay above the MA 200, which recently it did that, and that causes the index to shoot up. But once it hit the 23.6%, it pulls back down again. And now we have a death cross, which happened 2 days ago, 3-4 days ago, and straight away you can see that, excuse me, the market came back down again. So what I'm trying to explain here is that now you understand that there is a very strong support at 16,760. So we have to also take note that there's a very interesting neckline, and that's about 16,436. And the last number here was about 50% marker, there's 16,000. So all I can say is there's going to be any form of support, right? The first support will be here right now is this number, 16,760. Then the next number to watch out for, which is the neckline, which is about 16,435. And the last one is a 50% of the Fibonacci at 16,040. So if you ask me when can we start to buy Chinese shares, or Chinese stocks, or buy China A50, I will tell you that these three numbers are the level to watch out for. So which means that if it stays at 760 and rebound, you can buy that. But if it goes below 760, then the next number will be 435. If 435 stay there and rebound, that'd be good. You can go in and buy again. But if the market loses 435, then of course the next number will be 16,040, and that is a 50% mark, which I kind of believe that will be a very good level to buy because that's a 50 percentile level. Okay, so guys, these are the three numbers watch out for. If you're involved in the China A50, these are the counters. This is the levels to watch out for buying. Okay. Now, why do I talk about China so deep today? Because I got to talk about China later on. I'll come back to you. Okay. Now for Hong Kong, very clear. I told you Hong Kong will come down to the chocolate bar. Remember, those guys who are involved in Hong Kong, remember I told you Hong Kong will come down to this chocolate bar, and now brilliantly it has just triggered. All right, those also remember that I did say this days ago. I did say that Hong Kong will come down to this price. Remember, if you remember that I said this price, can you keep a spot on for me? Remember, I told you that Hong Kong will come down to this particular price. All right, 27,905. I said that it will hit this point when it was just around here. All right, and here, remember that? I say it will come down to this point here. If you remember, keyword spot on for me. All right, so indeed, you can see that now it has hit that level immediately, and now it seems to be rebounding from there at that moment. So this is really technical analysis. If you want to do good in technical analysis, you have to watch out for conditioning, trend lines, and of course, chocolate bars, things like that. So now it hit this point. I suspect that it will rebound around here, and now it seems to be rebounding around there. Okay. Okay, all right, around here. Okay, it should be rebounding around here right now. That's why for those who short Hang Seng, you can consider to buy back some position. Okay, I already covered back some position already. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. There's a request right now. Thank you, Arun, Chongming, and Anthony, Jerry. Colin asked me to look at the weekly chart for China A50. Okay, for you, Colin, I'll do that. Okay, weekly chart. Here we go, weekly chart. Okay, yes. All right, so weekly chart, well, you're trying to tell me is that it broke below the MA 30. So anything? Yeah, this is a weekly chart movement, okay? So at the moment now, it's still once it's below the MA 30 for a weekly chart, you can see that it does show some downside pressure in the market. Trend line, trend line, okay, okay, let me see. Like this? You're talking about like this? All right, breaking this major trend line. Well, you can, if you draw from here, obviously it has broken the major trend line. If you draw from here, you will still have a major trend line. So of course, it all depends on how you draw a trend line. But undeniable, if you draw it in the way that you want to see, then of course, it broke down the trend line, undeniable. But for me itself, right, it's below the MA already, so means that the market is already selling. That's the reason why, remember this weeks ago, okay, I already tell you that when it broke below the MA 30 to be very careful, especially when it lost the MLP of the big white candle. And of course, when the death cross happened, we have seen more selling. Oh, wow. You can see Hong Kong is recovering very fast right now. You see that? Wow, it's recovered to 28,100, you see? Wow. very fast recovery. So this is why I say this, technical analysis, how powerful is this? Okay, all right. So how about Hong Kong today? Let's look at Hong Kong today for the day chart right now. Now, Hong Kong day chart, let's take a look. Now, for Hong Kong today's day chart, interesting. Let's take a look. Now, Hong Kong day chart today, the opening price is actually above the pivot 1. Now, the only thing is that the KSI is red in color. So it's basically if the market breaks below the pivot 1, there will be some selling. And what we saw was indeed it happens in the morning. Straight away, immediately it came down, broke below the pivot 1, went down to KTR -2. Well, it missed the KTR -3 by a fraction. But if you are sensitive enough, right, you notice this is a BNB. Can you see that? This is a BNB, and once the BNB is over, remember you always draw the 2 lines on the BNB, and once it crosses this, you see that, wow, straight away, instant reaction. So that's why I can tell you this, guys, BNB is very powerful to use. If every day you just focus on BNB, I cannot guarantee you make money every single day, but I can tell you that good chance, it's a very good chance. Those who are savvy enough, if you notice this is very good. So this morning it's a BNB, right? You can see that. So when the market broke down below the BNB, there was some selling. So all this tells you that our technical analysis, you just have to trust it and of course enjoy it. All right. So now Hong Kong has came back all the way up. So all the losses have been covered up. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So that's what's happening right now in Hong Kong. Okay. All right. So we talk about the BMI. Let's talk about today's. Now there was yesterday. There's no doubt. Now, I mean, there was Dow movement, but this is like very low volume. So I'm not going to cover this. There's no Dow report, obviously. News-wise, well, yesterday, DAX and Europe side went up. So that pushes the US dollar futures higher. And this is what you're seeing right now. And of course, there was some news just 3 days ago. DIDI was supposed to be added into S&P global equity indexes, but not now. Don't know too sure whether on 12th of July will that manifest. Okay? Right. So there's no recap. Now talk about gold instead. Now gold, we have some news in the market. So now people are saying that gold will go to 1,008 now. All right, they're saying that this index gold will go to this all the higher level. Now before we go there, I forget that I'm supposed to talk about the US equity market. Sorry, I bring you back to US equity first. Apology. The usual momentum is gone. By the way, gold is trading higher. Gold is trading at 1797. For those who have been buying gold or those who are involved in the gold challenge or 3G group, congratulations. Gold is actually now trading higher already. All right. Remember, I did say, I reminded you guys to look out for gold. So if you have entered gold, congratulations to you. Okay. Yeah, gold is trading higher now. Indeed. Just give me a moment. Messages coming in again as usual. Okay, so the Dow Jones now we can see on the chart. Wow, Dow Jones has broke my resistance at 34,803, right? So it broke above it by closing above it. So this line had to be removed, okay? So nothing there to resist it. And of course, now it's trading way above the MLP again. So it's really bullishness all the way to the maximum, okay? But again, if you remember, I did say this to you, if you remember that about the BNB structure, right? You can see, hold on, having some problem here. Okay, this is the BNB, remember? This is the BNB. I told you guys, if the market stays above the BNB RL, we could see the same magnitude. So it's going to be quite clear that there is a real possibility for the Dow Jones to challenge 35,000, okay? There is a possibility for the Dow Jones to challenge the 35,000 mark, okay? So if you believe in the BNB, you should have bought it earlier, all right? And if now you're asking me, Cal, can I chase here? I will tell you that don't do that because you're already like more than halfway mark of this BNB. What you should have done is that you should buy here at the BNB here at this point, at the near just slightly above it, so that now you're in a very, very profitable position. You understand? If you now wait for it to go up so high and you want to chase after it, maybe what will happen? Well, this could actually happen. The market could actually do this. You may hit this point first, come back down, then go up. So by the time if you enter here and you cut loss, then after that, what happened? You may get caught, right? So if you really want to buy, well, technically you have missed the ride already. You should just give it a miss. And of course, if you want to really go in again, let it pull back first, something like this, and try to go in somewhere around here so that the risk reward ratio makes sense. That means that you enter here, stop loss, put it here. If the price really goes here, the upside is about 2 to 3 times. Then at least this makes lots of sense. All right. Sorry, I think I'm blocking you here. Hold on, let me just clear off all this away. Okay, what I'm trying to say is this: is that now let the price come down first. Okay, then when the price recover, then you go in, because if this is the range, all right, it will likely be going here, right? This is the range. So you let it pull back first, enter over here, all right. Oh, I think I'm totally blocking you guys. All right, I think the thing is not there. Okay, never mind. So it's okay. I will explain this more during the later part. But I will just say that try not to enter right now. This is a bit too high. Unless the intraday charts permits you to enter, you don't mind taking the risk, fine. But in terms of just BNB alone, well, wait for a pullback. I think that will make much more logical sense. Okay, all right. So chart-wise, very powerful. MA above MA30, everything's all good. That's why the market is still going to go up. Weekly chart, well, it stays above the short-term trend, so it's still very bullish at the moment. All looks good. Now for today, let's take a look. Wow, Hong Kong is already almost back to the opening price of today already. See, wow, very powerful. Okay, so let's look at the Dow Jones for today. Now the Dow Jones, very clear. We are in the driving seat right now. The Dow Jones today opening price, very clear. Is the opening price is now basically above the pivot 2 level. So KSI is green, right? So as long above OP, CCRY to buy shouldn't be a problem. And now it's going up. So the target for today could be seeing as high as 34,955 because that is the pivot 1 level. Okay, all is clear above the cage. Everything is good. So doesn't seem to have any problem to go higher. Okay, that is for the Dow. All right. The NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ is a little bit different. Okay, the NASDAQ apparently, right, we have a new all-time high 2 trading days ago. And yesterday was a flat doji. But you notice that the Dow was higher, it's higher yesterday and now. So, well, is it because there is some ongoing worry because of the China regulatory bodies doing all this thing here? It is possible. So that is why traders kind of worried at the moment, but again, after this worry, I kind of believe that it will just move on. So the MLP, where they used to say the MLP, we are now at the MLP level at 14,711 level. So traders, watch out. Now, in terms of the BNB, already the profit has been almost given, right? Almost there. So we just had to wait for it. Now, of course, it's still way, way far away from the MA30. So no need to worry. And of course, MA200 is even further away. So overall, again, the market is very, very bullish. But there's something that I was trying to warn you and repeatedly warn you that, of course, this NASDAQ has been going up in a very incredible way. I want to warn you guys on this, okay? Now, watch this number before we move on. Is that the NASDAQ high, when it was here, it was trading at approximately 9,700 area, okay? Now, do note that the day when the NASDAQ came down, right, it was a BNB also, okay? Just remind you, the day the NASDAQ came down, it was a BNB also, okay? Then after that, NASDAQ came down, pandemic, and it came down, okay? Understand? Then the lowest point happened to be 6,600 and, around there, huh? Okay, so of course, the market came down about like 20 to 30%, right? Okay, when it rebounded, wow, the way it rebounded was the same pace of like China did. The market rebounded. Now, the thing is this, now it went all the way up to today's level. And at today's level, we're talking about 14,740 level. Make it simple. So how many percent is that? Okay, so very, very simple. The market has went up by how many points? Almost 5,000 points. So 5,000 points over a 9,700 index is up by 51%. All right, 51%. Wow, 51%. Okay, so you are telling me that from the lowest point, from the highest point, sorry, which is just last year June to this year June, the market went up by 51% after pandemic time. before pandemic time, sorry. So after before pandemic time, now from this point, up by 51%. So did the economy actually went up by this type of level? I think we all know the answer. The answer is no, right? So how did the market goes up by this type of phenomenal rate? Is obviously all the money that's involved, all right? Now you can see today I got an agenda here because I want you to understand this. If there's going to be any pattern to watch out for, this is the pattern that I need to take note, okay? Is that right? The numbers doesn't equate to the economy. It really doesn't equate, okay? So that is why the whole structure itself is kind of like problematic. But if you heard me earlier, right, I did say to you guys, is that if there's going to be any significant pullback, right, we have seen over time, the key is that there must be a BNB. And the BNB has to be considered big. If not, it has to break below the SL level. So the last one, the last BNB, the market did not break the SL, it broke the RL. So that's why I say there will be further upside to go. Okay, further upside to go. Thank you, Anthony, to tell me that gold hit already pivot one. Come to go very shortly. Okay, all right. So this is what's happening right now. So as long as there's no BNB, we can just wait for a while. Okay. So let's go to the NASDAQ daily chart. Now, the NASDAQ daily chart right now, we can see very clear. We have the, it's between the two pivot points, and KSI is green in color. So likely it'll still go higher, right? That is what we are looking at for NASDAQ today. Okay, kind of tight squeeze, but still looks good. Now, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is also at a new all-time high, and it's above the MLP for now. All looks good. Everything looks perfect, and obviously the BNB already, the BNB recent one, the recent BNB has already given the profit, so that's why traders are making money. Okay, all right. So that one we understand. Okay, so now how do we look at this thing here? Well, undeniable. Look at it. It's still pretty far away from the MA. The MA 200, MA 30. Sorry, is at 4271. The MA 200 is even further away at 4030. So it's very, very far away. So seemingly there's no call for concern until we see a BNB, right? Because you notice majority of the time when there's any pullback, right, the BNB will be there, okay? The BNB will be there. Can you see that? Interesting, right? Interesting, right? You see that? This is a very interesting phenomenon that I observe. So whenever you see a BNB in the market, you just have to be very careful. You see that? This is what happened before the sell-off in this February last year. Also a BNB, and then bang, wow, okay? So got it? So we don't have a BNB at the moment, so there's no real concern right now. Cool, right? This TA. All right, those who like this sharing itself, please key number 1 right now, just to see whether you guys are still with me. While I get some water. Give me a minute, okay? All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Philip, Colin, Jerry, Michael, Gary, Anthony, Tomei, Janet, Bernard, Chin-Kui, and Chong-Ming. All right, thank you guys. Okay, I mean, the thing is this, I'm doing all this MAO every day also to remind myself to watch out for the market. And does it work on the downside? Well, look at it. When the S&P recovered recently, right, it was also BNB. Can you see that? There's a BNB right here. And once it crossed the RL, bang, straight away it went up already. So it's the same thing. That's why I say BNB is a very powerful indicator, okay? All right, so basically that is what happened. And over the indexes side, let's look at DAX right now. DAX today, yesterday, beautiful. Uncle Arun, don't know if you hear me yesterday. All right, looking to buy. And of course, once the market broke above MLP at 15,623, I mentioned that, straight away DAX recover. Now, DAX itself now is trading very beautifully at the MA30. So as long as the market stays above the MA30, there's no way DAX is going to go down, okay? So this is something that to take note of that. At the moment now, we are still basically at a very tight range, you know, this area here. The market is there, but overall it's kind of pretty bullish, okay? The nearest BNB, let me just confirm this once again. There we go. This is the latest BNB. So I'm going to put it there just to remind ourselves. Yep, here we go. This is the latest BNB. So once the BNB breaks, right, Uncle Arun and all those this DEX trader, take note of this right now. This is the BNB for DEX, okay? So if the market goes up, we're talking about one time. Well, this is quite a big one. This is apparently about 300 points. This is a 300 points BNB. So which means that if the DEX goes above this BNB and close above the BNB and go higher, we can actually see DEX going all the way to about 15,980 mark. Now, of course, if it goes down, we're going to see going down by 300 points. That'll be 15,150 mark. All right. So at the moment now, it seems that the market is going for this 15,980. Okay, if it can stay above the BNB RL level. All right, cool on this. Okay, so very good to use, man. The BNB, very easy, good to use. All right, last of all, Nikkei. Now, Nikkei is now recovered this morning, and Nikkei is trying to stay way above the MA 200 right now. It's trying to stay above it. It has been sideways, but there's a BNB over here. So that's why I mentioned to you for the Nikkei. All right, this is the BNB of the Nikkei. It's staying sideways at the moment. So if the Nikkei goes up, we can see the upside, something like this, okay? All right, now it's sideways, trying to firm itself above the MA 200 right now and heavily resisted by the MA 30. Okay, that will be all for the indices. Okay, let's just go to the next one. It's commodities and it's gold. I told you earlier, now traders are watching the 1795 level, and of course the 1008 is a psychological milestone that traders is watching in. Now, very interesting is I saw something like this. Open interest in gold futures rose by about 10,500 contracts on Friday, which is last Friday, according to flash data from CME Group. That means that there are some buying in the gold on last Friday. So is this a good sign? Well, for those who are involved in gold, obviously it's a good sign because it means that the boys are coming to buy. All right, and that's the reason why we also know that. So there's no recap because it's today no market, right? So I'm going to go right now to the chart directly. Okay, let's watch this. Wow, gold is at 1798 already. Wow, congratulations to those who are involved in gold. Let me see how many of you are involved in gold right now. How many of you are long in gold right now? If you're long in gold, please key the word gold, G-O-L-D, right now in the group chat. Let me wait, see what you're doing. All right, if you're involved in gold, please key the word gold, G-O-L-D. All right. Okay, me is also fine, but let me see how many of you are involved in gold. Wow, so many of you. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, let me see. Wow, we are Arun, Colleen, Eric, Allison, Anthony, Philip, Azar, Winnie, Gary, Daniel, yeah, correct. Jason, Diana, Toming, Chongming, Rachel, Han Yu, and Eileen. Wow, okay, so many of you involved in gold, huh? Wow, fantastic. Okay, so now you listen to me, all right, to get an idea on how to do gold, okay? All right, for conventional chart, do note we are now approaching the important MA 30 mark, okay? MA 30 for today is about 1807. So which means that undeniable, there is a possibility to see 1807 traded in the near future. Why? Because I always believe in this. When you use an MA, right, one thing is that it's about touching it or breaking it or going above it. So you can see over back here itself, right, when the gold price used it as a form of support, it was very strong, it stays up. If it's above support, it stays strong, it goes up. But once it loses it, can you see that? Wow, the market just bang, came down, right? Okay, so you must understand how it works. So as a trader for many years, right, a usable or very good line, like a moving average, will be a form of resistance and support at the same time. So undeniable now, the current market now is trading below it, right? So which means that there is a law of attraction that it will purposely go towards it. And once it reached there itself, right, two things will happen. Now, one, it may just go past 1807 and go to all the way to next level. All right. Two, it may get rejected and come back down. So if you ask me, right, I kind of believe that it likely will be hitting that point, 1807 approximate, and reject. So which means a hit and reject. So if anybody is like looking to take some profit, you can consider at 1807. Okay. Now, of course, you can see this is a very big black candle, right? And I told you before in trading, how it comes down and it will be how it goes up. So now that means that this is also very near to the level here. I mean, let's draw it properly for you. All right, if you look at this, if you're going to put a technical line here itself, right, you notice that once I put it onto the opening price, it actually merged properly with the MA 200. So which means that the MA 200 is about 1811, and that is a chocolate bar level that we mentioned, 1811. So if anybody want to squeeze the market, 1811 will be the next figure, okay? Now this figure, I have said this before, right? Remember, I say gold will be going to 1811 next, all right, if the market can go up. So 1807 is MA30, 1811 is an MA 200. So can I give you a little friendly advice as a friend? Maybe as it go up to 1807 around there, take some profit. Then after that, go to 1811, take more profit, okay? You can still stick with the original position if you have, then just shift the stop loss up to above your entry price or somewhere, anywhere you think you're comfortable with. You got my point? So like that itself, right, you will make money from the market and you will also protect yourself from any sudden knee-jerk incidents, okay? Got an idea? All right, so got it? Congratulations to those of you who bought gold. All right, well done. Okay, so that is the conventional chart. The weekly chart, definitely very beautiful. The way it rebounded, long tail, everything looks good. Okay, so everything looks good. The only thing that watch out for the weekly chart, right? The MLP of this weekly chart. The MLP of this weekly chart is somewhere around here, right? About 1811. Let me just give you the right number now. I calculate for you. The opening price is 1876. The closing is 1764 divided by 2. You get 1820. Okay, so 1820 is MLP. Okay, 1820. So 1820 is the MLP of the big black hawk down. So if you really want to squeeze some more, then maybe 1820 then. Okay, all right. So that is gold. Let's look at the gold chart today right now on our TWB system. Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So let's go through this properly. Now, step one, when gold price come down, all right, all the way down, we do not catch the falling knife. We already said this many times. So when it came down, right, you can see that the gold price came down for a couple of days and we had the first KCX at the bottom of the screen. But can you enter the long? You can't. Because why? Because there's no CCRY. So if you went in to buy recklessly and buy anywhere, you get hit. All right. Now, even though conventional charts shows that there's some recovery, but there was no color change, if you enter, what happened? Most likely you incur stop loss yourself. Okay. That's the reason why you need a system to help you and not just recklessly enter the market because it's cheap. Okay. That is reckless. So what happened is that the market was down for a couple of days more. The KCX keep on blinking and blinking and blinking. The last blink is here on this particular day, all right? Now, some people were telling me, Cal, gold likely will crash already, right? Cannot go up, right? I tell them, say, trust the KCX, trust your TWB system. So what we saw was that you can see that there was the KSI was coming down, right? That was a telltale sign to tell me that there's something is happening soon, which could change the entire trend. So what happened is that the next day, we get to see our CCRY. And of course, we have KCX, we have CCRY. The next day, around here at 1778 level, we went in to buy gold. And our stop loss was somewhere around here, all right? But now gold has already stayed higher. We are almost reaching 1x. That means that traders can consider to take profit at 1x level. So let me do the mathematics for you guys. So if I enter here, which is I'm going to change my colors again. Okay, so if I enter at this price at 1778 And my stop loss is going to be placed somewhere around here at 1750. So the difference between them, the distance between them itself is about $38. So $38 plus, okay, 1778 plus $38 will give you 1x, right? So 1778 plus 38, you get 1816. So which means that if the market go up by 1/4, the TP level is about 1816. Okay, so this is how you can do the X level. All right, it means that whatever you risk, you're going to get back 1/4. Okay, pretty clear, right? Okay. Now, with all this thing, we must understand that while we are calculating, we're trying to count our X, right? Do understand this. The good part of this is that this is a KSI jump. This is a KSI jump. So that's the reason why there could be further upside in the time to come. But of course, again, if you're worried, now it has hit the pivot 1798, you can take some partial profit first. Then after that, as I mentioned to you, you can take a 1807, that is the MA30, and you can go at 1811, which is the chocolate bar, and 1816 happen to be the 1x1, and 1820 happen to be the MA200. So basically, there are 4 levels for you to consider. It's up to you, all right? 29, 30 level, sorry. Oh yeah, wait, sorry. There's a mistake. Okay, wait, sorry, yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, I think that's, okay, sorry. All right, the entry price is 1778. To here, stop loss is $29. Sorry, my bad. Okay, $29 plus $1 stop loss. So 1778, thank you, Eric. 1778 plus $29 will give you 1807. Wow, exactly the same level. That means that 1x1 will give you 1807, and that will also, interestingly, is the same number as of this MA30 mark. Okay, all right. All right, so basically, guys, 1807, seemingly a good number to take some profit, but I'll leave to you to make your own decision, okay? Thank you, Eric, for highlighting that. Thank you very much. Okay, all right, so this is what I'm saying. Now, Cal, if above OP, above people can buy or not? Well, I already said this before many times to you. Whatever it is, follow the chart say buy, just go with the flow. So of course, the answer will be yes. Okay, the answer is yes. All right, chocolate bar today, as I mentioned to you, is 1811. Okay, same thing that I said earlier. Okay, that is gold. That looks like silver. Silver is today is a bit different. Silver, the opening price is between the two pivot, and if silver is to go up today, KSI is green. So we're looking at this potential figure at 2672 level. Okay. All right, that is the pivot one. Okay, if it comes down, then 2618. Silver indicator is ready, but it will only be allowed to subscribe on the 15th of July onwards. Apology on that, because we need to do a little bit of wiring of the indicators or server. So that's why for those who are interested in silver, you have to wait for a while. All right, you can get the numbers from me every morning through MAO, okay, to let you know what are the silver figures to watch out for. There's a chocolate bar at $26.89, okay? That is the nearest chocolate bar right now for silver. Some people ask me, Kel, you buy gold, you buy silver? Definitely. In fact, I already said this, guys. I kind of believe that silver now is getting a little bit more interest than gold. So which means that, right, in terms of percentage gain itself, I believe that silver could be doing better than gold in the near future. Okay? So yes, indeed, when I buy gold, I buy silver. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So hopefully you guys are going to make good money in the market. Congratulations once again. Okay. Now, silver, the KCB is still distant. It's on the 5th of August. So don't worry on that. Now, for the KFC. Now, the KFC indicator will also be made available to everybody who are active subscriber on the 15th of July or so, right? For gold, for silver and KFC will be made available from the 15th of July. Now we are doing the last test of KFC to do the final negating of the weekend data, holiday data, because sometimes for weekend data, it actually cause some problem with our computing. So we are doing the final test. I think by 15th of July, the test will all be over. And of course, those who are active subscriber will be able to get the KFC. But don't forget, the KFC only work for 4 markets, okay? Only for 4 different markets. All right, so we have that. We have done our job on the market. Silver done. Like crude oil. Oh my goodness, crude oil. Wow. You know, crude oil is really a fantastic darling. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God, it's at $76 already. Woohoo, yes. Well, those who have been buying crude oil, I tell you guys, crude oil, just hang on it and go for the target. I told you my target is about $77 to $78. Once it hit there, do consider to take some profit, okay, for crude oil. Now, crude oil, the chart is pretty useful. Really, it's very good. It's very good with our technical indicators. Let me show it to you now live. Here we go. You see crude oil today, example, you see? Very beautiful, right? You see, traditional indicators will call you to sell already, but look at it. Every day is almost a buy. And now for crude oil today, the target is $76.38. All right, so pretty clear, right? So crude oil has been pretty impressive. So of course, the way the crude oil is going up, would that be a problem for the economy? Definitely. When costs increase, obviously economy will be hurt. But you know, at the same time, when the cost increase, inflation increase, it also will stimulate economy because all the crude oil related counters will benefit. That is how it works in this market. All right, so guys, really do consider to get crude oil indicator because it's going to be pretty powerful. And of course, we can see how it works beautifully. Look at it. Oh my goodness. All right, that will be all for the part 1 of today's MAO. The part 2, the alternate market views. I'll talk about China. All right, will be up in 15 seconds time. Okay. Any new KFC for Hong Kong? Okay, I'll come to that to you, Jerry. Okay. All right. Give me 15 seconds. We'll come back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so Jerry asked me, is there a new KFC? Okay, for Jerry, for you, I do it for you. Let me just check for you. Okay, this is Hong Kong. Yes, indeed, Jerry, just double check on the chart again, just to refresh it. There is a KFC, and that was back in when the Hang Seng was at 29,257. Okay, so this was where the KFC is, 29,257. Yep, that was where Hang Seng went up, right? On the very day of KFC, bang, wow. You see that? That's why I really love my KFC a lot. Okay, all right. So that's the reason why last few days I've been shorting the Hang Seng because of this reason. And I think I did mention to you guys over the last few weeks towards the KFC to tell you that this KFC line is very useful. Okay, so that is why we try to roll it out as soon as possible to all of you. Okay, right? If not, we just mention this. Okay, just for the sake of you guys, I'm going to do this right now for everybody. Just kindly take note once again. So this is the KFC point for the Hang Seng. Dow Jones KFC, I already told you guys, it was here. So the Dow Jones KFC was 34,077. 34,077. So when the Dow Jones basically broke above the KFC, straight away Dow Jones rebounded. Recently, it came down, right, very near the KFC marker, but it didn't really it didn't really come down and straight away goes up. So that's why this KFC is that it's just about a line. If it stays above, it's just going to go up. Stay below, going to go down. All right. Of course, you may say, Cal, isn't that nothing special? Well, if you look carefully, don't you realize that the big movement always comes when the KFC is around? That's the point, you see. I mean, if you are negative as a person, I cannot even show you the best trade in the world, you won't see the picture of it. If you are a very positive person, right, you will know that, hey, even though the market is supposed to go down, the KFC turnover, and apparently exactly on that day itself, we have a CCRY. That's why things changes. Now, the NASDAQ KFC, the next date is 20th of July. The next date is 20th of July. All right, recently, how do you work? Well, you can see that right now. It was back, the first time was in 11 February, and after that, it stays around here. And you can see very perfect. Once it hit the KFC, it came back down. Then once it crosses KFC, and you can see that it happened to be a BMB, and that's the reason why you can see the NASDAQ going all the way up here itself. So for next date is on the 20th of July, so it's still very far away. The next date for NASDAQ is 20th of July. I'm going to put it down for you so that you remember 20th of July, okay? Okay, that is a NASDAQ. And the last one will be S&P, right? Oh, sorry, S&P don't have. You can see when don't have, it doesn't show anything here. Hang Seng and Gold, right? Go. Here we go. Now, Gold KFC. Well, Gold KFC is actually at 1744, right? Yeah. So when gold came down almost to 1744, it staged a rebound. That's why it couldn't go lower. Now, KFC for gold, the next one is all the way 5th of August. 5th of August. So it's still a very long, far away. So not too sure what happened to gold. Hopefully it's something like this, then like that. That will be the best. All right. If not, of course, I'm going to make you happy. Maybe like this, then come down a little bit. Then after that, hits here, then go up. I don't know. All right. I'm just drawing anyhow. Okay. I no feel on this at the moment right now for gold. Okay. So at least this is what I'm seeing on gold at the moment right now. Okay. All right. Sorry to digress a little bit. Okay. So hopefully that's good stuff for you guys. Let's look at the alternate market views right now. Oh, sorry. Okay. Some PowerPoint issue again. Okay, so this is actually Steve Henrich again rubbing in. Okay, Alan Greenspan, our ability to forecast is significantly limited. That means when the market is actually down, they say this. Bernanke, subprime is contained. It did not. In fact, it went up. Economics and monetary policy are at best inexact sciences. Okay, and now Jerome Powell, inflation is transitory. So what I'm trying to say is that look at it, every time when any of these Federal Reserve come in to talk, right, they will tell you that all this so-called inflation is really, not something that cannot be forecasted, is contained, it's like, it's not an exact science and it's transitory. Now watch this. For the last 16 years right now, our Citi US inflation surprise index is at all-time high, okay? All-time high. And of course, if you look carefully on the consumer price index for the urban, consumer, all right, look at it now. Wow, we are now higher than what happened back in 1993. So really, seriously now, we are at really incredible level compared to the past, okay? So the question is this, how? Is there a problem here? Obviously, there's a problem, okay? And are we a recession? Obviously a recession. But how come we don't feel that way? Because the stock market is up. So as long as the stock market is up, right, you won't feel anything. But then again, when we see this, all right, eventually when inflation is at a high, it will pull back and that will cause the stock market to fall. But at the moment now, there's no way the stock market is going to fall because some of the signs are not there yet. So look at this. This is very clear because look at the US, the financial condition index. Look at it. We are so easy money policy, right? Tightening is higher number. When it's very easy money, it's at the lowest level. Now for the last 8-9 years, we are down at the lowest level in terms of money easing. All right, so we are now at a very relaxed level. Basically, money can be made available very easily. And of course, because of that now, we have a big problem. If you believe in history, for the last 30 over years, you can see that this is S&P 500. And basically, this is the price to sale ratio, not PE ratio, price to sale ratio. That means that anytime, if you next time remember this, okay, when the price ratio is at about 1.5, it is a very good time to buy into the market because majority of the time it's very good. If it's even below at 1, wow, it's a jackpot time to buy. Anything below 1 is a steal. Okay, got an idea? Okay, good. So what happened back in this 2020 between pandemic time, it come very near to 1.5. So it was a buy back then. Okay, but do note, this is the best time at 1.5 to buy. But the national average about 5 years is around here, and that's about roughly about 2.3. All right, 2.3 is the best. And you notice that the last time we hit 2.3, it got itself resisted and then it came down, right? But where are we now? Wow, we are now at 3.12, way above the 2.3 by almost 1 full point, really 1 full point. Now to just take note of this, to let you understand how this one really works, look carefully again. I'm just cleaning up for you one more time. Okay, one more time. Now this is where the average is, right? And that's about 2.3 level, okay? You notice that hit 2.3, it came down, right? Hit 2.3, came down, right? Even at this point before pandemic, right? 2.2, 2.4, it came down. So every time it's supposed to hit 2.3, 2.4, it's supposed to come down. But you see over here, it didn't. It tried to come down, but the market forces went in to pump it higher, and straight away, the market do this, okay? So we are way higher than the sales. And of course, we are now at record level, all right? So all I can say is this, guys, if last for 30 years history is not able to tell you something, then you can still chase in to buy, but just be careful, okay? Just be careful. Now, Colin just say, right, central bank in the future can buy stocks, how to go down. Exactly my point, Colin. But the thing is this, as I said, they can buy, right? But they can buy later. Don't forget that. So that's something that you must take note. They can buy, and that's why the market is still going up. But they can buy later. So don't forget about this. This is something that you must take note of that. Okay, so that is the price to ratio. And of course, now why I want you guys to know about this, because I got something to talk about China for you, okay? Right, today during the MAO, you notice that I talk about more on China, right? Because you can see this. Now, 1 month ago, I talked to you about the credit impulse has turned negative. Remember that? So 1 month ago, we told you that the reversal of the credit impulse has turned negative. And I already tell you that 1 month ago. So what does it tell? Basically means that, right, the Chinese market now is feeling the problem of inflation. Remember earlier I told you about how the China market goes up, right? Remember that? Let me just bring to you. Okay, just a quick one. Let's go to the China A50. Remember just now I was talking about this thing here. I told you guys that China market, when it was going up back then, all right, before the pandemic and after the pandemic, so the pre-pandemic to the low, back to the high, and how it stretches, right? Look at it. This is exactly a footprint of what is happening now in the American market. You can see it's really like a footprint. But once the market realized that they cannot take it anymore, right? You can see in February, it pulls back down. And 1 month ago, remember that in 1 month ago, that is in June, May period, notice this. This was whereby the market basically U-turned and came down. It's exactly 1 month ago when I talked about the credit impulse really going negative. And of course, straight away, the stock market actually pulls back. But prior to that itself, you can see the market was up very strongly, right? Because there was a pump and a dump. Very clear that even central bank can do this. Now, what I'm trying to explain to you here by talking about this is that now when you have too much money and when the credit impulse turns negative, right? This is whereby over credit will kill the market. And you can see that now the PMIs are coming down, like the Caixin, China PMI, it has came down. And that's the reason why, if you notice in America, the PMI in America is also coming down. So which means that people are buying credit. It's no longer available to buy on credit or base cost because I'm not buying into it. And when this actually happens, what will create problem. Now China, now the PMI data is now basically the lowest level since the February. That means we are going back to pandemic time. So last time when Caixin general market business activity, right, dropped down that type of magnitude, right, it was back then in the February 2020. So which means now, even during a good time now, the market in China is not doing as well. And I told you guys that the property prices in all the 一线城市, right, which is the first liners, right, are really going crazy prices. So it's just a matter of time this thing going to break. In fact, the second, third line, fourth line, right, the prices are now dropping very fast because why people cannot pay for it. So if people cannot pay for it, they'll be letting go. So now the main thing is the money is all stuck in this the main liner, and we are paying premium because why everybody was doing it. So it's just like you're going to just burst. So what I'm saying, trying to tell you that if China is going to get hit, as you can see right now, right, it's just a matter of time US could get hit also the same way. So I would say that China, the way what's happening around is in fact a footprint, or it's like a front print or what will happen for US in the coming months and years. All right. So if you buy this, of course, you can know what to do and prepare yourself in the coming months and years. Okay. But of course, you think that, nope, the US market, you're going to buy and buy and buy non-stop. Then of course, like I say, then history doesn't play a sense. Then obviously just look forward and buy and make sure that your stop loss is placed in. Okay. All right, that will be all for today's MAO. Today's afternoon MAO, right? I'll confirm with you what time arrangement maybe it could have, may not have. I'll update you guys through an announcement. Okay, but definitely Susan go live, sure have. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for today MAO. Once again, thank you for holding on. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Have a great day.